Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, what is up? And welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. I am your host, Dean Soto, founder of freedomin5minutes.com and prosaloom.com. And today's topic is, there is never a perfect time. That and more coming up. All right, so, awesome. Another day, another podcast. Fantastic. So today's topic comes as a result of a couple of different things, but let's just start with the story about my YouTube channel, about our YouTube channel, about the Freedom in 5 Minutes YouTube channel. Well, okay, how do I want to get into this? Because there's so many things that have happened throughout this this last few days. I think I'm actually going to do a couple stories that kind of show the importance of this lesson. So the first story is the YouTube channel. Okay, I can tell you that I have podcasted many times on different podcasts. And so to do this right now is actually really easy. When I first started, it was so hard. It was it was so hard. And I probably sounded like this. Yes, welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. The podcast where we talk about making 5-minute decisions and you get my point. It was definitely like that. If I go look back at my old podcasts, I had a couple of different podcasts back in the day. Well, the cool thing is that you get better. You get better every time you do something. And so, that being said, because I have done multiple podcasts, I have gotten a lot better. You don't hear too many ums. You might hear so and, but that's something that I'm working on as well. However, with being in front of a camera, oh my goodness, it's so strange and so awkward. So earlier today, I was in one of my offices, and it was interesting because I'm sitting there. I pop the phone on the desktop that's there, and I have it pointed toward me, and I just go for it. I just go right into the topic, which was the same topic as this particular thing right now, but I was talking about a different story, which I might mention in the podcast in just in a little bit. Well, as I'm doing the video, a strange thing happens. In my mind, I'm thinking that I'm talking too fast, that I'm kind of going all over the place with my voice going up high and down low and changing pitch and doing everything that I normally do with a podcast. Well, however, upon review, I go and check out my video as I'm driving home. Do not tell the police, do not tell my wife, do not tell the highway patrol or anybody else who could potentially give me a ticket. But I was watching myself on the way home and listening to myself, and oh my gosh, was I so boring. And as I'm seeing what I'm doing, I'm looking away from the camera a lot. I totally remember looking into the camera multiple times. However, when I looked at myself doing it, I realized I was looking away from the camera a ton. Crazy. That's cray. It's crazy in the sense that you think one thing and it ends up being another way. Well, why is that? Well, it's because I chose, despite being very uncomfortable, very, very, very uncomfortable with being in front of a camera, with it pointed directly at me, I chose to go for it. And I know deep down, I know that I'm going to suck. I just know it because I sucked when it came to podcasting. I probably still suck. You're probably going and thinking, man, this guy, his voice is really annoying and he's going up and down and all this other stuff that I learned over time on how to do a podcast and how to speak into something like this where it's just audio. Well, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time to get started doing something that's meaningful to you. Something that's going to put you in a potentially bad light. Anything where it's going to be risky, where you're going to put yourself in front of a lot of other people, there is never a perfect time. Whether it's public speaking or blogging or starting a business or doing a podcast or doing a YouTube channel, there is never a perfect time. What I talked about in the YouTube channel was, if you go to YouTube and you type in Freedom in 5 Minutes, you can check that out. You can even see my boring video on There Is Never a Perfect Time. The topic that I talked about in that was a story of how because I live in the country and I'm 30 minutes away from the gym, I have hesitated going to the gym. And I got to my most heavy weight I have ever had in my entire life within the last 12 months. I was probably around 220 or 230. And I've never been that heavy at all. And this is not muscle, babies. Baby. I just called you babies. Sorry. This is not muscle, ladies and gentlemen. This is pure 100% grade A American fat right on my buttocks and stomach and chest and all over this body. However, I didn't want to do anything about it. I would do these body weight exercises that made me feel good and yada, yada, yada. Long story short, I joined a thing called Wake Up Warrior where it kicked my butt and I realized, I actually have to do something. Okay, I guess I'll do it. And I started doing more exercises in the morning, but I wasn't getting the results that I needed to get. And there was an incident with my wife while we were at Costco where I basically felt like I was a fatty, and I needed to do something about it. Well, it was interesting because yet again, it was not the perfect time. I was fat. I haven't been to the gym. I hadn't been to the gym in quite a long time. And when I got there, I was embarrassed. If you've ever been to the gym when you were out of weight, it is very embarrassing. That's probably one of the reasons why, if you are currently out of shape, if you are currently out of shape, one of the reasons keeping you from the gym, which was keeping me from the gym, was the fact that you're out of shape. And you get there, and all these big muscle-bound guys are there looking like beasts, and here you are with some man boobies or, a spare tire, ladies, whatever it might be. There you are, and you are just, trying to survive the 30 minutes to an hour that you are doing. Well, that's the way I felt when I first went. And once again, however, I noticed that after going consistently, I have never, ever been able to lift the amount of weight that I'm lifting now. Even when I was deployed to Kuwait and I worked out pretty much every day for a year and a half, I have never, ever lifted as much weight as I do now. I mean, I think my max was 55-pound dumbbells before for doing chest exercises on the flat bench. And now I'm doing 70. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And I'm looking beefier, at least in my chest and arms. I still need to get rid of the fat around my stomach. I'm looking beefier than ever. Holy crap. Why is that? Whoa. It's so cool. Seriously, I was like, what the heck is going on? But I realized this is, and if you're a health nut, I don't know if this is true or not. This is just my anecdotal experience. But the reason I'm beefier is because I was much fatter. It sounds really bad, but I had a lot more weight already on me, that all of that is transferring to muscle. I was also eating a lot of protein, and I was probably eating more protein when I was deployed. But the thing was, when I was deployed to Kuwait, I went from 210 down to around 180 in a few months doing CrossFit. And so I got really skinny and really ripped. But I think because I lost all that weight, I couldn't build a lot of muscle. I couldn't build a lot of muscle in the way that I wanted to. And now it's just happening. But I think it's because I already had a lot of weight on me to begin with. So the fact that I started at a totally inopportune time, a time where I felt my fattest, my most vulnerable, I felt like I was going to be the laughingstock of the gym. The fact that I did that and continuously went ended up being the most amazing experience, because now I realize I can lift more weight now than I could ever before, and I feel fantastic. So, there is never a perfect time to make that decision. You just have to make the decision. You have to make it. You have to do it. Just do it. Just make the decision and get the feedback. I got my feedback from this decision, from going forward and trying it for a little while. And now I'm just, it's awesome. It's crazy. It's always good when Marissa says, "Oh, I can really see your arms look great in that shirt." Yeah, I haven't gotten that in literally 8 or 9 years. So the fact that I started when it was not the perfect time was the perfect time. So what are you doing right now? What are you procrastinating on right now because it's not the perfect time? Is it a business because you don't know how to set up your LLC and your taxes and all this other stuff? Is it the story that you've been wanting to write forever? And you just don't know how to get a publisher or how to write in Microsoft Word or whatever it might be? What is the thing. Maybe it's hiring new employees. Maybe it's hiring virtual staff. I have a ton of clients who are afraid to hire people overseas because they have no idea how to do it. And so I do it for them. What is going on right now? What do you have right now that you're just waiting on the perfect time? You're waiting on the perfect time. And if you were to simply make the decision and see where that decision takes you, you would have the potential of some massive results. So I want you to pick one thing, and I want you to make a decision and start seeing the feedback on that decision. Start seeing the feedback on that position. Get started on it. See what happens. If you see great results, fantastic, keep going. If you don't, great. Now you can stop and you don't ever have to think about it again. What's that one thing you can do right now that you're literally just waiting for the perfect moment? But guess what? The perfect moment will never happen. That you literally just need to make the decision right now. Find that one thing. And you can even shoot me an email at dean@freedomin5minutes.com or dean@prosulum.com. I'd love to know your results. All right, this is Dean Soto with freedomin5minutes.com. Go check that out. You can get some secret episodes that I did not release at all to anybody else, as well as join the community and get some pretty amazing emails that have exclusive content daily that'll give you tips to kick you in the butt, to motivate you, to get you moving and making decisions that can change your entire life.